guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hair's a bit puffy, I feel in such, if you watched my last video, I've literally woken up and I just feel so much better today. I've actually been down seeing my mum for like a couple of days down in Devon, so that's been quite nice. So yeah, I'm just about to go back up and I'm going to go back and see my kiddies, which is lovely. But what I wanted to say is that there was this whole, like, now I actually feel like in the zone to be able to actually respond to messages and actually like watch things and just be a bit more a part of what's going on. I just wanted to talk for a minute about the kind of kerfuffle that's been happening with JESSSFAM, and this has been covered now. I think it's literally been covered to death, but I still found it so interesting how she managed to lie about using this kind of sanitary pad, incontinence pad kind of thing. She basically lied about it, and she did this great big whole ad. She did an ad on her Instagram, and bearing in mind the ad was in like tiny little writing, could barely bloody well see it. She then goes on to basically say how she was like cleaning out her stuff and she came across this, and here you go guys, like she's had them ever since her, was it her last or something like that, and that was like 6 years ago or something. So obviously people are then just like, well, I don't really get it. How were you just cleaning out your stuff and you found like a brand new pack and all of that? And in my, like, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt after reading a little bit about it. I was like, well, maybe she just bought so many pads that she didn't even know what she was doing with them, and they were all just they were just splurging out everywhere, and she needed to do like, you know, like a closet clear out. But it wasn't like that at all, because the actual sanitary pads, they'd only been released in like October, November 2022. So this whole like kerfuffle, whole like pad kerfuffle that she was doing made absolutely zero sense, and it was an obvious lie. Yeah, if you go onto Amazon, they're sold out now. I'm pretty sure they are sold out now, but if you go onto the Amazon, it says date first available October 27th 2022. And then also if you go onto their Instagram page, they first started promoting it not long before and after. And something else that is so incredibly important to know is that on this exact brand's Instagram feed, they're constantly sharing influencers who have done a paid for promotion with this product, and JESSSFAM is not there. So I'm not sure if this is their way of basically going, oh crap, yeah, that wasn't the greatest advertisement for us, because it was clearly a lie. But everyone else is still there, and there's not one single reel of Jess, and I would have thought, because she has such a big following, that she would be on there. And their latest one was literally uploaded like 4 hours ago as of making this video. So yeah, that is something really important to note as well. And the thing is that instead of just owning up to it and being like, yeah, sorry guys, I was lying, I don't think she's even addressed it at all. And what a weird thing to lie about. She was obviously just trying to make up a story. You didn't even need to lie about it. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have to come out with this whole story, but do you reckon the company asked her like, hey, can you share a bit of a backstory into why you love these pads so much? Because that's quite common. Influencers do get asked quite a lot, hey, can you give like, even if it's not particular, like, and I'm gonna be completely real, like companies will say stuff like, oh, you know, just can you like elaborate on a story, knowing full well that they've not used those products before, if that makes any sense. So it's just so fishy. She didn't even need to make up a bloody story. She didn't need to make up the story, because she could have just said, oh yeah, by the way, I've been using these for whatever reason. And if those pads are used specifically for after pregnancy, which I think they can be or could be, you know, you can use pads for a variety of different reasonings. If they are, then Jess obviously isn't the person to be doing this ad, because she hasn't just had a baby. Does this make any sense whatsoever? The whole thing, I just think it was poorly mismatched. A weird thing to lie about. So anyway, so that's number one. But then there was another topic that I really wanted to discuss, because I have recently spoken about car safety, which is pretty on point, since I am in fact sat in my car. And you have influencers that literally drive around and use their car as like their main source of filming area. I do sometimes, I don't know, I do find it a little bit like, please make sure you're looking where you're going. So I covered Kira from OK Baby Kira the other day, where she was basically vlogging with her hands like this, with showing off her nails. I'll insert it right here. And I said, like, that is just so unsafe. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she did actually address this and said that she tried to justify it by basically saying that, oh, it's fine because the very first time there wasn't that many cars, and like, it's fine because it was only for a couple of seconds. And she then said it was probably a bad idea, but you know, 99% of people do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Trying to justify it, and I'm like, that is really naughty. Anyway.
But I did take that 2-second video. I was by myself in the car. I was going extremely slow, and there was nobody else on the road the first time, first of all. And then the second time, I was on the freeway. That wasn't that good. But what really grinds my gears about all of it is, I guarantee you, 95% of the people hating, not people in the world, okay, just those commenters, totally have texted and drove. You get it.
On a couple of instances, which the Reddit thread did in fact point out as well, there was a video of her picking up one of the kids, and one of it didn't look like the kids were like strapped in properly before they drove off. And another one as well was, there was this TikTok that she was doing, which I'll try and insert. It might be a little bit difficult. Of her kids wasn't even sat up in the car, was like lying down in the back of the car. And I'm just thinking, like, that is so unsafe. Like, you're not even sat up, and Jess was too preoccupied with making a TikTok. So that's kind of where I first came across it, and then the Reddit then backed it up with this other TikTok that she did, where it didn't really look as if her kids were even strapped in properly after they were eaten. Now, of course, she adds loads and loads of jump cuts, so it's quite hard to tell, but from my own eyes, and you guys can look at it as well, look as if the kids were even strapped in properly. And I'm just thinking, like, what is it with these people, like, with the driving and stuff? Like, why make the one thing I don't get is, why make TikToks in your car? Like, for me, just from my own personal experience, and I know I'm kind of talking out my bum a little bit because I'm literally sat parked in my car, but if your car is moving and you're making TikToks, or you're just kind of on your way of doing things, like the engine is running, for instance, and you've got kids coming in and out, like, why is that then a great opportunity to, hey, let's make a TikTok? And I wouldn't personally want to drive and vlog anyway, because I don't trust myself to pay 100%. Whatever I do, I've got to be paying 100% attention. I can't just like divvy out 90% to the road and 10% to the camera. I've got to be able to concentrate on what I'm doing. I feel like so many influencers, and it's not just mums, all right, I've seen dads do it as well, spend a lot of their time focusing too heavily on the camera than actually driving. I'm thinking, like, since when have we gotten to this point where that is okay? My just being a bit too sensitive, but I don't understand how, like, as a society, and I see it happen all the time, like this in the UK anyway, it's against the law to use your phone, to touch your phone or anything, even when the engine is running. Yet I see, like this is legal because my engine's turned off. If my car was turned on and I was doing this right now, I would get in big trouble, yeah? But you have some people who I literally see, like, kind of vlogging with like cameras set up and all of that, driving along, and I'm thinking, like, hold on a minute, is this legal? It's probably going to tell you somewhere if it's legal or not. It's not the same as having like a dash cam. You're literally interacting, you're doing something else other than driving. And that's just my own 2 cents. I'm not saying that they're literally making TikToks as they're driving, but there's still engine on, kids coming in and out. I don't know. I just don't understand how we've gotten to this point. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me just thinking too much into it. And then the whole thing with like the brands and, you know, a bit like, you know, what happened with Jess telling a story and it wasn't right, and people inevitably, I think people were calling her out on it. You know, I just think it's a perfect example, and I say this quite a lot actually, it's a perfect example of people, you know, influencers not thinking of their audience as actual people. They're just sort of like, oh yeah, I need the money, oh it's fine, I'll just make up the story, without really thinking about it. They're not thinking about the people on the other end of the screen actually have, you know, intelligent thought and can put 2 and 2 together. I mean, it didn't take a brainiac to work out that the product that she's selling, that she claims to have used like 6-7 years ago, was only released like last year, late last year. It's not difficult to put 2 and 2 together, but I think some of these influencers just think we're extremely stupid. I just don't think a lot of these influencers just think for like 1 minute. Because if they did, they'd realise that we're not actually all that silly, and you can't just like pull the wool over our eyes. And I feel like that is just what's happened with Jess. But as far as I know, I don't think she's addressed it at all. Equally, it annoys me when I'm being lied to about products. That does annoy me, but I more so pity the people. This may sound awful, but I kind of like pity the influencers who feel the need to lie like that, because A, it means that it means that they don't have any sort of moral compass in regards to lying to people. And I do pity that, because that's, I don't know, it's just a bit sad. Like I wouldn't like, if you're calling people your friend and then you're then willing to lie about things like that just to get money, I just feel really bad for them, because I wouldn't want to have to lie in order to make money. I wouldn't want to do that. That may sound like really strange to say, but that's just the way I think about it. I don't feel bad. I don't feel like upset that she's lying to me. I just feel sad for her because she's the one who's lying. Anyway guys, I'm gonna shoot off right about now. It's now starting to rain. I need to get all my stuff in order, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.